Hi everyone, my name is Andy and I've recently started cycling again after 3 years of doing very little cycling. Tomorrow I'm going to be taking part in the Liverpool-Chester-Liverpool bike ride and I'm going to be travelling from, well, Liverpool to Chester and then back again. I'm going to be doing the 50-mile option, so there's a few different routes. There is a 100-mile option which feels a bit out of my reach given I've only just started cycling again. And that one goes from Liverpool to Chester, out to Cheshire, back to Chester and then up to Liverpool. The route I'm going to be doing goes just from Liverpool down to Chester and then back again, but there is a 25-mile option which takes you from Liverpool to Chester, or there is a family-friendly option that goes through the tunnel and back. That's a 5-mile route. So maybe next year I could either attempt the 100-miler or maybe take the kids out and we'll do the tunnel ride as a family. That might be quite a good idea. Most of the event will be on open roads, but exclusively for the event tomorrow, the Queensway tunnel, which connects the Wirral to Liverpool underneath the Mersey River, that'll be closed to traffic just exclusively for the ride. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Although having driven it a lot back and forth, I do know that it's quite steep. So whilst it might be fun going down and into the tunnel, coming out in both directions might not be quite as fun, especially the one back at the end of the 50 miles. I still haven't received my rider pack for the ride. So that's supposed to have come in the post this week and that has my race number in, it has the jersey that I get for free and probably some other bits, I don't know what's included. That's not arrived. So I've been in touch with the race organisers over the last couple of days. I'm going to try and pick up a new race number tomorrow morning when I get there. That's what I've been told I'll be able to do, so fingers crossed. It just means I need to get there a little bit earlier to get that sorted. The one thing that's making me a little bit nervous, the weather's not looking great. Not nervous in the fact that I'm worried about it, more that I don't really know what to expect, so I'm sort of preparing for a few different eventualities. It's been quite warm for the last week or so in the UK, but it is forecast to rain for the whole ride. I've just been getting stuff ready, got my bike on charge. I don't want to have anything left to sort tomorrow. I want to be able to just get up, have my porridge, get in the car and drive. It's an early start and it's made earlier, the fact I need to get there a little bit earlier too. So in terms of my kit that I've got ready for tomorrow, I've got my shoes ready, got some lights on charge. I've also got my helmet, glasses, I've got a bar, a gel and a carb mix. I think overall that's like 140 grams of carbs for 3 hours, so should be good. There's also some refreshment stations on the way, so I can pick up anything if I need it. A couple of drinks bottles for the ride, the plastic ones, and then a separate one to keep in the car, with just some water in. Heart rate monitor, because I'm a bit of a geek for the data. Spare pump, gloves, arm warmers, gilet. Like I said, not sure what I'm going to need to wear clothes-wise. And then in addition to all the cycling stuff that I'd usually get ready, got some extra bits that I'll use for filming the ride as well. So I'm just going to go and get the bike in the car now. The Di2 should be charged, and then we'll be ready to go first thing in the morning.
Morning everyone. So the rain had stopped once I was filling the car with all the stuff, but it has started again and I've been having to drive around quite a few big flooded bits of the road, quite near where the route's actually going to come past as well, so not ideal, but it is what it is and we'll deal with it. The forecast does say it's going to ease off in about an hour, so hopefully that's true. The first task this morning is going to be to get over to the start line and get hold of my rider number, because I didn't receive a rider pack in the post. Hopefully I can get that sorted without any dramas, and then I should be there in enough time to watch the absolute machines who are doing the 100-mile route start their ride this morning. So watch those guys head off, and then it'll be my turn. So yeah, let's get over there.
Okay, number required. We're a bit early, so waiting around now. But the 100 miles are just set off. We should be going in about half an hour. And the main thing is it's not raining yet. I made my way into the start line holding area, where us 50 milers were kept to one side and the remaining stragglers from the 100-mile route fed through. The marshals did a great job of getting people where they needed to be, and bang on time they let us through down to the start line. I had hoped to be a bit further back than I was, but having heard some things afterwards, I was quite grateful to have been towards the front, as it meant I had quite a bit of space to make my own way down the ramp. Further back was a lot busier and people were getting wedged in, and I think there were a couple of minor comings together. By the time we got to the flat in the tunnel, I was actually the second on the road, which I didn't really want. I was conscious of getting ideas above my station and burning through too much energy early in the ride, because I'd be drawn into sticking with some of the faster guys. Some others did start to come through though, and as we went up the climb back out the tunnel, I felt like I paced myself quite nicely up it, controlled the heart rate well. So we're out the other side of the tunnel. I'm actually fourth on the road at the 50-mile group, which I was not expecting. Hopefully I didn't take it too hard, but I felt like I was taking it relatively easy through the tunnel. I'm on a bit of a climb at the moment, but then it gets pretty flat and downhill then down towards Neston, so I'm going to sit in and enjoy. I was sort of hoping to be a bit further back so I could film a bit more, but I guess I'm only going to get past now. I'm not going to be passing anyone. Here comes the rain again. I didn't really film any footage on the next 7 or 8 miles because the wind and rain came and it wasn't pretty. Whilst it was downhill most of the way, it wasn't the most pleasant. I was wrong though, I actually did pass some people from the 100-mile route, and I did latch onto a small group through Parkgate in Neston. I don't think many people made use of this first refreshment station in Neston. It felt a bit too soon into the ride. I finally got passed by my first group of speed merchants just after the Burton climb. These guys just flew past me. I did a quick post-ride snoop on Strava, and this was the group that got the fastest time around the 50-mile loop. I mentioned that most of the route is on open roads, but this one section on the Chester High Road, which is a high-speed dual carriageway, had a lane coned off for us cyclists, and it was a nice little touch that I wasn't expecting. Okay, so we're about 18.5 miles in. I'm just literally gone right past home. Now, I've taken it easy because I realised not really that many people have come past me. A few groups of fast riders have. A bit nervous that I've gone out a bit too hard, so I'm just trying to take it a little bit easier now, just to get to the halfway mark. Had a really, really wet bit from Prenton down towards Barnston, downhill into the wind, into the rain. It was gross. So yeah, a bit wet, but other than that, it's staying dry at the moment, so fingers crossed. Now that I'd got a little bit further into the ride and eased off a little bit after grinding through the wind and rain, it got a bit more social, which was quite nice. The family came past and I saw them very briefly. I also caught another group of 100-mile riders from North Wales. I stopped for a chat with them for a bit too. The route took us along a bridleway. A few times along it I tried to film, but it was quite windy, vegetation was quite overgrown, quite gravelly in parts as well. It's tricky to get the camera out. I also had to stop to get through some gates. It required getting off the bike to open and shut. At least twice I thought I must have taken a wrong turn, only to be greeted by a trusty green arrow. But the bridleway eventually spat me out in Mollington, and from there it was on to Parkgate Road into Chester, and this is where the rain began again. From there it was just get my head down, past the Countess, and into the refreshment station at the halfway point.
Done the hard part-ish, away you go.
I eventually got going again and started my route back to Liverpool. I was out past the zoo and then it was straight down the A41 into the wind and rain for a good 6 to 7 miles. It wasn't the most pleasant start to the second half of the ride. So back on the road after the halfway stop, 35 miles done. That slog from the stop down to here just felt like full-on headwind. It's not the nicest route, just down the A41 as well. Quite busy with traffic. So I did just sort of blitz it down there a bit. I'm hoping I just haven't gone out too quick, but I'm only 17 miles from the end, so it's not too bad. I can always nurse myself around 10 miles if I need to. As I got out to Chester, I started mixing it with a few more riders, so caught a few groups from the 100-mile ride who started before us, and then some of the faster guys from the 50-mile ride started catching me up as well. So as I got into Chester, I was just sort of surrounded by some more cyclists. The family met me at the stop, so that was nice to see them friendly faces. So I had a bit of a break there. So I am starting to come up to people on the 50-mile route again now. So people may not have stopped or just not stopped as long as I did. So I'm 41 miles down now, through Thornton Huff. I can really feel my legs starting to ache. Probably because a guy came flying past me down at Raby Mere and I just tried to stick with him, which was an absolute mistake, but I thought, only 10 miles to go now, why not have a bit of a dig at it? I passed a few riders since the halfway point, so they mustn't have stopped for as long as me. But I feel like I'm out a bit on my own again now. Not long to go, but this has been a really good ride. After I finally let this guy get away from me, which I let happen about 3 minutes later than I should have done, I went past the final refreshment stop, which again was pretty empty at this point. I think if I was on the 100-mile route, I'd be thankful for that extra stop. I got into Thornton Huff and spotted that I was still not far off the quick fella, so I really eased it back. That's where I felt the first twinge, just before I was about to hit a series of short, punchy climbs on the way back into Prenton. Just had horrendous cramp in my calf. I was heading north towards another uphill section on the way to Oxton when I stood up out of the saddle to stretch the legs and disaster struck. Oh! Panic moment. I've actually literally had to stop. My leg just cramped so bad and I could not bend it. But it's calmed down a bit now. I've stretched it. I think I might be able to go. I managed to get going again and was straight into the climb I was anticipating. Not quite what I needed. After I got up that section, there was a lot of flat, followed by a nice descent as I headed back towards the tunnel again for the final push back to Liverpool. I eased back as I went in. Some of the people I was riding with went for it on the descent. Played it right, eased downhill, a bit nervous for how my quad was going to hold up after the cramp. But up it held, and one by one I reeled in those guys on the way back up out of the tunnel. Final straight went down Dale Street before I made it round the corner into the finish line.
Don't approach them.
Thanks everyone.
Don't approach them like they do on a Friday, Saturday night and they approach you. That's it. More cycles, hello. How you doing?
Cheers, mate.
Right, this is your first lap. You got one more lap to do.
Oh mate, nice one. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
You going to do it again next year?
It was time to seek out the food. So I'm back in the car, I'm on the way home. That was brilliant, really good day, really good ride. The event I thought was really well organised.
They had direction signs everywhere, so everybody knew where they were going. It was pretty hard to get lost, and they had people along the routes. They must know where people typically get lost, and they had people there telling people where to go. I definitely went out a bit too quick, because after I got out of the tunnel, I was like the fourth or fifth person out of the tunnel, and then just nobody came past me behind, and there was just a big gap formed. So I started to worry that I'd gone out a bit too hot. One really quick guy came past me at Raby Mere, and then I thought, oh, I can stick with this guy. That was a mistake, because not too long after that, I got the worst cramp. I started in my calf, I got cramp in my calf, and then about 3 or 4 miles later, I just stood up out my saddle, and my quad just twinged. Oh! And I couldn't bend the leg. I was just stuck in my position, so I just stood in the middle of this side road. I just couldn't move. I managed to eventually sort of scoot myself off to the side and sit on a wall and rest my leg on the bike frame just to take the weight off it. But yeah, that was one of those moments where I thought, oh, am I actually going to be able to finish this? But I did manage to carry on. I latched onto a group of guys, speaking to one of the guys, a gravel rider, as we were coming into the tunnel. They all sort of went ahead. I did a bit of filming as I came into the tunnel, and then I was quite pleased because I managed to get past them all on the way back up the hill, so I'd obviously recovered enough to overtake them all. So yeah, a really good day, and I would definitely recommend to anyone taking part in the Liverpool-Chester-Liverpool ride. I thought it was great. My ride number also fell off my bike partway around, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get access to the photos of the ride. So thanks for watching today, and also thanks to those of you who left some comments on some of our recent videos. Yeah, I do appreciate it. Didn't expect to be getting much interaction this early on, sort of filming on YouTube. So yeah, that was a really nice surprise. So thank you for that. So yeah, stay tuned for more cycling content from me. Thanks for watching today, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.